Yeah, welcome back. I hope you are fine, my friend, and everything is good. Kaspa coin price prediction. The silent giant that refuses to sleep. Every once in a while, the crypto world gives birth to something that doesn't fit the usual script. It doesn't scream for attention, it doesn't flash wild promises, and it doesn't throw parties on Twitter after every minor pump. Instead, it just moves quietly, consistently, and with a kind of confidence that makes even the loudest coins go silent. That right there is Kaspa. Today, Kaspa stands at around $0.075, looking deceptively calm, almost too calm, like an ocean before a storm. The market seems unsure whether to celebrate or worry. Yet anyone who has followed Kaspa's journey knows this mood all too well. This coin doesn't just rise or fall. It orchestrates moments. Every dip feels like a setup. Every pause feels like a whisper before the roar. Kaspa has built a reputation for surprising the market when it least expects it. It's like that friend who never brags about their plans but always shows up with results. While other coins chase the spotlight, hyped by influencers, drowned in promises, and forgotten within weeks, Kaspa moves differently. It doesn't need hype, creates gravity. In one of our earlier discussions about Kaspa, we described it as the coin that keeps teaching the market patience. And that still holds true today. The Kaspa community has learned something many traders still struggle with, that growth isn't a straight line, and silence doesn't mean weakness. Kaspa doesn't speak loudly because it doesn't need validation. It lets its ecosystem speak for itself. If you scroll through the crypto communities across Europe, Asia, or the States, you'll notice something interesting. Kaspa is slowly, almost secretly, becoming part of every serious investor's vocabulary. It's the quiet name that keeps appearing in long-term portfolios. And that's not because it's trending. It's because it's trustworthy. Now, let's not romanticize, the market is still unpredictable. Kaspa, sitting near that $0.075 mark, has seen its fair share of turbulence. There are days when traders panic, memes explode, and predictions swing like a broken compass. But through it all, Kaspa has built one thing most altcoins can only dream of: consistency. Behind the scenes, miners keep working, developers keep upgrading, and the network keeps running like a machine that refuses to rust. It's not about quick wins. It's about solid foundations. The psychology behind the price. Price in the crypto world is not just about charts and candles, it's about emotion. And Kaspa has become an emotional roller coaster in the best possible way. Traders who sold too early keep watching from the sidelines, whispering to themselves, "Maybe I should have held." The ones who stayed, they walk with quiet pride, sipping their coffee, pretending not to care. But deep down, they know they're part of something special. At $0.075, Kaspa feels like it's sitting on a secret. There's an invisible pressure in the market, like everyone is waiting for someone to make the first move. You can sense it in the trading volume, the social media chatter, and even in the tone of analysts. It's as if the world knows Kaspa's current calmness isn't ordinary. It's strategic. And that's where the humor of the market kicks in. People call it a boring coin. But every few months, it wakes up and slaps the boredom right off the charts. The community loves that unpredictability. It's like Kaspa enjoys playing hide and seek with the bulls, disappearing just long enough for people to forget, then reappearing to remind everyone it never really left. The Kaspa mindset. Kaspa investors are a different breed. They're not here for drama. They're here for destiny. They talk less about moonshots and more about network efficiency. They celebrate upgrades instead of price spikes. And that mindset, that quiet maturity, is what separates the Kaspa crowd from the rest of the crypto jungle. In fact, one could argue that Kaspa is less of a coin and more of a movement. It's teaching a new generation of investors how to think long-term in a short-term world. It's showing that patience is still profitable, if you know what you're holding. There's an unspoken code among Kaspa holders. We don't chase noise. They've seen too many coins rise fast and vanish faster. They've seen hype turn to dust. So they stay calm, sip their digital coffee, and let the impatient ones chase illusions. What the current price tells us. When Kaspa sits around $0.075, it tells a story not of weakness but of gathering energy. Think of it as the tightening of a spring, not the release of one. This range, this balance, is where accumulation happens. Smart money doesn't shout during accumulation, it whispers. And right now, Kaspa is whispering loudly to those who know how to listen. The big players understand that price stability is the most underrated form of strength. Volatility may attract attention, but stability builds confidence. And Kaspa's ability to maintain composure amid global market chaos is a silent statement of power. In previous lessons, we mentioned how Kaspa often behaves like that student who never seeks praise but always ends up top of the class. That analogy still fits perfectly. The world's eyes are often on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, the noisy, flamboyant coins, while Kaspa just keeps earning quiet respect from analysts, miners, and developers alike. The whisper before the roar. Every market has its heartbeat, and if you listen closely, Kaspa's is getting louder. That $0.075 zone isn't just a price point. It's a psychological anchor. It's the point where doubt and faith wrestle, where retail traders wonder if it's the bottom and institutions quietly start to buy. You can almost feel it, that pre-breakout tension. Like a thunderstorm waiting for the first flash. But Kaspa has a sense of humor. It doesn't rush. It lets everyone get impatient, then suddenly turns the tables. Traders who swore they'd buy the dip start chasing candles. Analysts scramble to update predictions. And Kaspa? It just smiles because this is what it does best. Turn silence into momentum. Beyond prediction, Kaspa's quiet revolution. Kaspa isn't merely trying to be another altcoin on the blockchain menu. It's building a structure that redefines what a proof-of-work system can achieve. While some projects compromise speed for security, Kaspa blends both, like a chef who somehow balances spice and sweetness perfectly. Developers from different corners of the world are starting to take notice. The code is clean, the architecture elegant, and the scalability impressive. These are not just technical achievements. They are long-term promises. And perhaps that's the real secret. Kaspa doesn't sell dreams. It delivers blueprints, global sentiment, and cultural humor. From London's crypto cafes to the high-rise trading offices of Singapore, conversations about Kaspa sound the same. There's always that mix of curiosity and disbelief. Why is it still holding? Or, how is it still this consistent? The joke making rounds in the community says, Kaspa doesn't pump. It politely elevates. That dry humor hides a deeper truth. Stability is the new luxury in crypto. In a market addicted to chaos, Kaspa's calmness is its rebellion. And maybe that's why even after market corrections, new investors keep joining. They sense something authentic here. A coin that isn't trying to impress but trying to last. The near future. Now let's be realistic. No prediction can be absolute, especially in the chaotic carnival of crypto. Yet, if you look at Kaspa's chart, community activity, and developer momentum, you can't ignore the underlying strength. The price today, around $0.075, may appear like an ordinary day in the market. But in hindsight, this could easily be remembered as the quiet before the takeoff. The long-term players know this feeling. They've seen it before with Bitcoin when it was just a whisper. They've seen it with Ethereum before it became the backbone of Web3. And now some of them see it again in Kaspa. The difference? Kaspa isn't chasing hype cycles. It's crafting its own era. The human side. Crypto isn't just about numbers and charts. It's about people, their fears, hopes, and late-night dreams of financial freedom. And Kaspa has become more than a ticker symbol. It's a psychological companion for many traders. Some check its price before their morning coffee. Some write posts defending it like a football fan defending their favorite club. And some just smile, knowing their patience is quietly compounding. In the world of crypto, every coin tells a story. But Kaspa's story feels poetic, not because of its drama, but because of its discipline. It's not a wild sprint. It's a quiet marathon. And maybe that's the reason why Kaspa has survived when so many others have vanished. It understands something simple but profound. Endurance beats excitement. A final reflection. So here we are, in a market full of noise, watching a coin that speaks in whispers. At around $0.075, Kaspa stands steady, patient, and quietly confident. It may not be the loudest player in the room, but it might just be the smartest. Because while the world chases shiny distractions, Kaspa builds quietly, and those who build quietly often end up ruling loudly. So whether you're holding, trading, or simply watching from the sidelines, remember this. The story of Kaspa isn't written in sudden spikes or viral tweets. It's written in steady growth, deep conviction, and timeless patience. And when the next big wave comes, as it always does, you'll probably look back at today's $0.075 moment and smile, realizing that the silence wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something remarkable. Yes, bye guys.